All right, go ahead and join me please on page 163 in your big math book, or on chapter 4 lesson 6 today. You're also going to need some graph paper to follow along, and you can also use the grid boxes that they show in the book as well. So you can use both options, and you can use your scratch paper or your grid paper for scratch paper as well. Remember, focus, can-do attitude, initiative, which means raise your hand if something's not clear, or re-watch, and listen carefully during the video. Follow along. It'll make the homework a breeze. Okay, you can use the distributive property to break apart numbers to make them easier to divide. Now, we did this with multiplication as well, and the same thing applies to division. We can break those larger numbers up into numbers that are easier for us to divide to get an exact answer. So let's read on. The distributive property of division says that dividing a sum means the answer to a division problem, by a number is the same as dividing each addend by the number and then adding the quotients. Now, that's a lot of terminology, but we'll break it down into exactly what that means. So first thing we need to do, outline a rectangle on a grid to model 69 divided by 3. Shade columns of 3 until you have 69 squares. So we're going to use this little piece of graph paper right here on the page. Let me get my pen going. Uh-oh, my pen's not wanting to connect. Why is this? Uh-oh. I can use my mouse, but my pen doesn't want to work. Let's see if we can get through this video with just my mouse. Okay, so columns of 3. So I count 1, 2, 3. So these are the columns I'm going to be doing. And if I shade these 3, that's 3, and I need to keep shading till I get to 69, it says. So 3, another 3 would be 6, another 3 would be 9, another 3 would be 12, another 3 would be 15, another 3 would be 18. What would this be? Yeah, 21. And again, remember, you can always move ahead of me if you see where we're going. This would be 24. Whoa, this would be 27. This would be 30. Now, in my head, 30 is about half of 60. So let's see how many columns this is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if 10 columns is 30, 20 columns would be another 30. And that would be 60. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I know I'm going to need to shade all of these in as well. And that brings me up to 60. Again, I'm just using my mouse. You guys can do a much better job with your pencils. So I'm up to 60. 3 more would be 63. 3 more on top of that would be 66. And then 3 more would be 69. So I'm there. So how many groups of 3 can you make? Well, we already said that from here to, looks like about here. Let's count them just to be sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, I'm sorry. To here was 10. So from here to here was another 10. So that's 20. And then from here to here is 3 more. So we made 23 columns. 23 groups of 3. 10 here, 10 here, and then that last 3 to get up to 69. That was so a total of 23 groups of 3. Okay, let's read on to part B. Think of 69 as 60 plus 9. We're breaking it apart. Remember, we did this with multiplication as well. So break apart the model into 2 rectangles to show 60 plus 9. Well, We found the first 10 was 30, the second 10 would have been 60. So from here, here to all the way now, down here, that would have been 20 columns, which is 60 total. Label and shade the smaller rectangles. Use 2 different colors. So again, we could change colors here. Let me see if I can get it on my pointer. Ink color. Let's go a blue. And so these 3 I'm going to shade, or these 3 groups of 3, 3 times 3, these 9 smaller boxes. And again, I expect you guys to be able to do a better job with your pencil than I can with my mouse right now. And let me switch my ink back to red ink. Okay, each rectangle models a division problem. So we broke it into 60 divided by 3. That's representing all of these, the red ones. That's 60 total, right? And 9 divided by 3. So this blue part shows 9 boxes. And remember, we didn't change the value. 60 plus 9 still equals 69. So we're still dividing 69. Okay. So 60 divided by 3, we already said was that gave us 20 groups of 3. So that's 20. And again, we can think back to our multiplication. 3 goes into 6 2 times, and then add our 0 that we ignored. And then 9 divided by 3 is a basic fact family. That's going to be 3. So our final answer is 23. Okay. All right, outline another model to show 68 divided by 4. So this time, how big does our column need to be? Well, in this first problem, if we look back, our column was 3, and that's because our divisor was 3. So in this problem, our divisor is 4. So we need a column of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I need to shade in till I get to 68. Well, I know 10. I'm going to jump ahead, right? 10 of them would be 10 times 4, which would get me up to 40. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So that's 40 total, because I have 4 by 10 here. So my total is 40. Again, I could shade it if I want, but I showed you guys last week how to label, or 2 weeks ago, how to label your models this way as well, where we show 4 by 10, so there's 40 small blocks in there. We have 10 columns of 4, or 10 groups of 4, okay? But we're only up to 40. We got to get to 68. So 40 plus 4 more would be 44. Plus 4 more would be 48. Plus 4 more would be 52. Plus 4 more would be 56. Plus 4 more would be 60. Did I miss one there? I'm sorry, let me recount. I lost my train of thought. 44, 48, 52, 56, 60. Thank you. Okay. And then 4 more would be 64, and then 4 more would be 68. So we have 40 here, and again, we still have 4 along the side, just like we had 4 along the side over here. But now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 7 times 4 is 28. And you can see 40 plus 28 would get us right back to 68. So how many groups of 4 can you make? Well, we made 10 for this rectangle, and we made 7 groups of 4 for that rectangle. So 17 groups of 4, and we can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yep. So think of 68 as 40 plus 28, which is what we did right here. We broke it up into 40 and 28 because I know I can do 40 divided by 4 very easily, which got me 10. And I can do 28 divided by 4 easily because that's a basic math fact. And we already found out 40 divided by 4 is 10. That's where we got this number. And 28 divided by 4 was 7. That's where we got that number. And just like we noted up here, our answer is 17. And remember, how can we go back and check to make sure that our division is correct? That's right, we got to go back and take our quotient. In this case, our quotient is 17. Quotient just means the answer to a division problem. This was our answer to this division problem. So our quotient times our divisor, whoops, 4, should be a 4. And check to see if we get back to our dividend. So 4 times 7 is 28. That's going to give me an 8 here. Carry my 2. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 2 more is 6, 68. And yep, it matches the 68 there, so this problem checks out. Alright, thanks again, and I'll see you on the next video. Good job. Focus, can-do attitude, initiative, listen carefully. Initiative means raise your hand if something isn't clear. We can do this. Thank you.